McGraw-Hill Ascent Audio presents Own It, Love It, Make It Work. How to Make Any Job Your Dream Job by Carson Tate. Narrated by Rachel Perry. Publisher's note. In this audio edition, you will hear references to visual material present in the print and ebook formats of the book. Your dream job. Your skills plus experiences plus values. Step 1. Own it. Acknowledge who you are and what you need. Admit your recognition and appreciation needs. Align your strengths. Step 2. Love it. Rekindle passion and joy in your work. Develop new skills and knowledge. Cultivate authentic relationships. Step 3. Make it work. Make your job work for you. Design your work to find your meaning. Introduction. Anne's bright, modern office features contemporary art, Art Deco lighting, and a sleek glass desk with a beautiful white orchid on the corner. As I walked in for our coaching session, I was struck by how she stood out in contrast to her vibrant surroundings. Her mouth pinched tight, her shoulders stooped forward as though she was typing on a computer. As I looked into her eyes, they shocked me. Flat, lifeless, absent their usual spark. The look was eerily familiar. I listened as Anne described her work as a corporate attorney, her service on the local city council, parenting a teenage daughter, and trying to fit in the ever-elusive me time. Anne had attended one of my webinars on email management and was thrilled that she had implemented most of the strategies. She opened her laptop to show me that there were less than 100 messages in her inbox. Anne's eyes brightened as she told me she no longer worked 60-hour weeks and had attended her favorite Pilates class twice last week. This week, she had incorporated 10 minutes of quiet time into her mornings using the app Headspace. A photo from her family's spring deep-sea fishing vacation completed the picture of a woman who seemingly had it all. I imagine you are wondering why you are here, Anne said. Yes, I am. Well, she said, I'm using your tools and strategies to help me be more productive and get more done. But something is missing. I am more efficient, but so what? I used to be very goal-oriented. I would set goals and push and strive to achieve them. Each accomplishment became another notch in the armor of my success. Now, when I wake up in the morning, I feel a heaviness in my chest. Not because my work can be challenging or my days too long and full, but there is an emptiness inside. I feel like I am sleepwalking through my days. Searching for a way to connect to what she needed, I recalled Anne's answer to a question I had emailed her before this session. What is currently not working well at work? She had written, getting through all the emails and calls in order to get to the impactful work. That was it, the impactful work. Anne wanted to achieve something more substantial than simply getting through her workday. She longed to discover how to bring more meaning to her work and how to be more fulfilled and engaged in her work. I shifted quickly, asking, what's at stake if you do not get through all the emails and calls and don't get to the impactful work? Anne paused, thinking for a minute. Then she said, a disadvantaged youth in our city won't have choices. He will be limited to a path that leads to a life of unemployment, incarceration, and unrealized potential. As she uttered these words out loud for what may have been the first time, Anne's eyes welled with tears. Her deeply rooted pain, frustration, and uncertainty flowed down her face. Anne's body intuitively understood that what she desired was much more significant than efficiently and effectively getting work done. This moment in Anne's office solidified for me what I had been seeing and hearing from more and more of our clients. When they moved beyond frenetic busyness and overwhelm and were more productive, what remained was a desire for more from their work and their life. My clients wanted to advance their career, be recognized, and love their work. They wanted their work to have value, meaning, and purpose. They wanted to make a living and enjoy their life. And they were not alone. A disengagement epidemic is consuming the workplace. According to Gallup's 2019 State of the American Workplace Report, 65% of the United States workforce is disengaged. Just look around your office. 6 out of 10 of your colleagues are unhappy and dissatisfied, and probably experience the Sunday night scaries, dreading the thought of Monday morning. Too many of us hit snooze on our alarm so many times we lose count, because we don't want to get out of bed and go to work. Many of us count down the days until the weekend or our next vacation. For you and me, the costs of the disengagement epidemic are extraordinarily high. You watch your dreams disintegrate in front of you as you find yourself without the autonomy and support to advance in your career. You realize that what you have been laboring for, striving for while giving up your nights and weekends, lacks purpose and meaning for you. You recognize that your manager's values don't align with your values. It's the self-doubt and slow erosion of your self-worth as you are passed over for a promotion or not selected for that high-profile strategic initiative. You have the devastating thought that this just might be all there is to work in life. You feel and believe that you are powerless to change anything. In this state, your body suffers. As you experience more workplace stress and have fewer sources of pleasure at work, your body is taxed by high levels of cortisol. You seem to catch whatever is going around the office, and when everyone else is on the mend, you're still filling up your trash can with tissues. You're always tired, and your pants are getting tighter and tighter no matter how many days you go to the gym, and avoid the snacks in the break room. Your head begins to throb the minute you pull your car into the office parking garage. Something has to give. Through our training, consulting, and coaching programs and my first book, Work Simply, my team and I have helped hundreds of thousands of people improve their productivity. I was proud of our work, but it was not enough. Looking back, I now realize that the conversation with Anne was my tipping point. When I returned to my car, something had shifted in me. I could not have one more conversation on the side of the soccer field, in a coaching session, or in the hallway of a client's office, where I only sympathized with the anguish of being discouraged and unfulfilled at work. Empathy was no longer enough. It was time for action. I had a new purpose. Find the solution to the disengagement epidemic that consumed the hearts, minds, and souls of the American workforce. And I started where I always start, with research. To confirm what I'd heard and observed with our clients, and just about everyone I met, I conducted a research survey with more than 1,500 global professionals. More than 53% of them stated that their primary goal at this point in their career was being happy at work. But happiness is fleeting. It's an emotion. Happiness is too narrow a yardstick to measure the richness and complexity of your work. What they really want is to be fulfilled at work. The survey respondents told me that they wanted the following: more autonomy in my job to structure my time, where I work, and what I work on. Clarity around the mission, purpose, goals, and big picture of the organization, so I can align my skills and know my work matters. More collaboration and relationships at work. to be recognized and rewarded for my knowledge, skills, and contributions at work. The opportunity to develop new skills and knowledge at work. I want to grow in my career. The opportunity to be creative and innovative at work. To receive feedback on my work and the support to achieve my goals. The opportunity to use my knowledge and skills at work. To be compensated for the work that I do. The pieces of the disengagement epidemic puzzle started to come together. Gratification, purpose, and joy are possible when you can clearly see how your tasks and projects align with and support the organization's mission. A mission for the greater good of our world. It is fostered through meaningful work when you understand how your personal attributes, interests, and values contribute to the work of the organization. Fulfillment is possible when your work is recognized and appreciated for what it is, the full expression of your humanity. You want to connect with others in a meaningful way and believe that your time and efforts contribute to and positively impact the attainment of the company's goals. You want to know the significance and relevance of your work and to feel that your job contributes to society, a specific community, or a cause. You want to be engaged and fulfilled at work. However, the problem is the current approaches to address and solve the disengagement epidemic are not effective. For example, one of our clients offers its employees free tickets to sporting events and to our local amusement park, has a beer fridge in the break room, and has an unlimited vacation policy. Google, Tito's Vodka, and Mars Incorporated all allow team members to bring their dog to work. And let's not overlook the ping pong tables, nap pods, or on-site massages that are provided in numerous offices. If higher salaries, bonuses, benefits, perks, or custom-designed office spaces were the antidote to the disengagement epidemic, more than 35% of the United States workforce would be engaged. In my work with our clients and in my research, I've identified that the root causes of lack of fulfillment, connection, and purpose at work are much deeper than compensation, benefits, and perks. These are mere surface approaches to a complex, multifaceted, and deeply personal issue. Your dream job requires much more than a paycheck, free tickets to an amusement park, or a nice office. Perhaps roller coasters make you vomit. You've never liked ping pong, and dogs make you sneeze. These perks are temporary, impersonal band-aids. What's missing from the relationship with your employer is you. As you know from relationships with family, friends, and significant others, both people in the relationship have expectations of each other, and both of you are responsible for the health and vitality of the relationship. All relationships are based on give and take. They are social contracts. The relationship with your employer is no different. However, you probably don't think about your relationship with your employer this way. Your knowledge, skills, and experiences are valuable contributions you give to your employer. It takes two to create a vibrant, beneficial, and meaningful relationship. You are a strong and equal partner in your relationship with your employer. It is time for you to acknowledge and use your power so you can make any job your dream job. You have everything you need inside of you to own, love, and make your job work for you. You just need a map to show you the way. Let this book be your guide. Chapter 1. Escape is not your only option. Warning: going to sleep on Sunday will cause Monday. Please note that staying awake all night does not prevent Monday. There is no cure. I hated my job. I spent all day on the phone making cold sales calls. People hung up on me. People screamed at me. I was called a variety of unpleasant, unkind names. Throughout the workday, my boss, George, would stand behind me in my small windowless gray cubicle and read my emails or listen to me as I made sales calls. George made insensitive and inept Michael Scott from the office look like an effective manager. One Thursday afternoon, I didn't feel well and left the office at 4:00 p.m. At 4:30 p.m., our home telephone rang. My husband Andrew answered. "Hello?" "Hi, this is George Smith. Is Carson there?" "Yes, she's here." "Can I talk to her?" "Well, she is in bed," Andrew said. "Is it urgent?" "No, it's not really urgent. I wasn't sure if she was actually sick or just wanted to leave work early today. Well, that's it, I guess. Thanks." Stunned, Andrew hung up the telephone. This was micromanagement on overdrive. All employees were allowed precisely 1 hour for lunch. When a few of my teammates arrived 7 minutes late after a birthday lunch celebration, George instituted a check-in and check-out system. Each time you left the building, you were required to write your name and the time you left the office on the clipboard posted by the front door. When you returned, you signed back in with your name and the time you returned to the office. At 25, I was back in elementary school, where I needed a hall pass to go to the bathroom. My job was wretched. I had an abysmal boss. I was disgruntled and unhappy. Each day I asked myself, do I quit? Do I stay and be miserable? Or do I escape and become a camp counselor? As you dread the thought of another day spent at work, maybe you, like me, can only see 3 options, or doors to escape your misery. Door number 1, you quit and get a new job. Door number 2, you stay and suffer. Door number 3, you escape the 9-to-5 to go eat, pray, love, or become an organic lavender farmer in the south of France. This door is also the option to take if you want to pursue your long-held dream to become an entrepreneur and start your own business. If this is you, go do it. Don't let anyone hold you back from your dreams. On the days when I wanted to walk through door number 3 and escape, I imagined telling George to take this job and shove it. I would gaze at my computer screen and dream of being a summer camp counselor at Camp Elahi in Brevard, North Carolina. I'd spend my days in the warm sunshine and cool mountain air, lifeguarding on the lake. I didn't have to listen to incensed, screaming adults, only happy girls having fun. Best of all, there was not a micromanager boss in sight. I took my escape plan so far as to investigate full-time positions at Camp Elahi for me, and job opportunities in Brevard for my husband Andrew. To my dismay, there were no full-time positions available at Camp Elahi, and no job prospects for Andrew. However, for about 6 months, my getaway dream was a ray of light, guaranteed to make me smile when I wanted to either scream or cry. Over the years, my pipe dream has evolved from summer camp counselor to professional nail polish namer. I imagined myself drinking wine with my girlfriends as we tried on nail polish colors and brainstormed funny nail polish names like Party on the Beach, Miss Independent, or Today I accomplished nothing. No bad bosses, irate clients, or mind-numbing work. Just days of wine, laughter, and colorful toenails. I think we all have some version of the take this job and shove it daydream. Maybe it's silly like mine, incredibly far-fetched, or maybe it's the escape of retirement, a carefree life of travel, tennis, and golf with friends, or sipping tea on a veranda with a picturesque mountain view. However, deep down, you and I both know that our escape fantasies are just that. Daydreams that make us smile and forget the grind for a while, but probably won't lead to lasting happiness. Work has benefits beyond a paycheck. It can be a source of meaning, fulfillment, connection, and contribution. Escaping the 9-to-5 is not your only option for joy and professional gratification. And really, why would you completely abandon your career, give up your training, education, and experiences, all of which are incredibly valuable, to go find your joy elsewhere? Even people who play the lottery aren't any happier after winning millions of dollars. And what guarantee do you have that your next job or next boss will be any better than your current one? There is another option. You. It is time to own your power in the relationship with your employer, so you can turn any job into your dream job. The reality for many retirees can be depression, isolation, and loss of identity. They have escaped the daily grind but aren't necessarily happier. Retirees who pursue part-time, temporary, or self-employment in their previous fields reported better mental and physical health than those who fully retired. Beyond the financial benefits, work can have well-being and life satisfaction benefits. And according to the Sloan Center on Aging and Work and the Families and Work Institute, 1 in 5 workers has a post-retirement job, and 75% of workers expect to work or transition to a second career at some point after they retire. It takes two. The employer-employee social contract. It's 8:17 a.m. Monday morning. You glance around your office, and a few bleary eyes, frowns, and yawns are all you can see. An "Is it Friday yet?" poster hangs on your teammate's cubicle wall. As you turn on your computer, you think, only 8 hours and 43 minutes to go. You are not alone. Disengagement and discontentment consume our workplaces. Only 34% of the workforce is engaged. The current approach to address the disengagement epidemic is clearly not working. Why? Because the solutions have mostly been employer-centric and one-sided. The solutions have not acknowledged that it takes two to change a relationship: your employer and you. The relationship you have with your employer is a social contract. And as a social contract, both parties have expectations of the other party, and both are responsible for the health and vitality of the relationship. The social contract with your employer can be described in terms of social exchange theory, which proposes that social behavior is the result of an exchange process. It is about give and take, or balance and reciprocity. According to sociologist George Homans, who developed this theory, you weigh the potential benefits and risks of social relationships. When the risks outweigh the rewards, you terminate or abandon the relationship. You've done this if you've ever quit a job, or if you've come to work but are not really at work or fully engaged in your work. Your body might be at your desk, but your heart and mind are elsewhere. You and I both know that most relationships are made up of a certain amount of give and take, but this does not mean that our relationships are always equal. Social exchange suggests that it is the valuing of the benefits and costs of each relationship that determines whether we choose to continue a social association. And in healthy relationships, both parties evaluate the benefits and costs of the relationship. For example, let's imagine that you have a friend who is fun, outgoing, and always the life of the party. You enjoy being around this person. However, each time the bill arrives for that evening's festivities, your friend has an excuse as to why he can't pay his portion. So you pay your friend's half of the bill as well as your own. The costs of this relationship are money, time, and effort. And the benefits are the things that you get out of this relationship: fun and companionship. As you examine the value of this relationship, you might decide that the benefits outweigh the costs, or that the costs outweigh the benefits. Then, based on your decision, you will either terminate the relationship or continue it. The exact same thing happens in your relationship with your employer. You judge the value of the benefits of the relationship with your employer. For example, compensation, intellectual stimulation, and/or the positive impact your work makes in society. You evaluate whether or not your contributions and your employer's contributions to the relationship are balanced and reciprocal. Together, these two assessments determine the health of the relationship and your commitment to the company. It is this commitment that impacts your motivation and job satisfaction, or as I would describe it, how interested, gratified, and fulfilled you are at work. Have you ever been in a relationship where you hoped and prayed that the other person would magically change? You ask yourself, why won't he pick up his wet towel off the floor? Why does she have to talk back to the screen when we're watching a TV show, like she knows what a real housewife would do? Why won't she ever make reservations for our monthly girls' night out dinners when I know she has the Open Table app on her phone? In the most successful relationships, people recognize that the only person they can change is themselves. And if they want the relationship to change, then the change starts first with them. Your relationship with your employer works the same way. It is time to stop waiting, hoping, or praying for your employer to fix the way you're working. Change starts with you. Of course, I understand that change is hard. It's scary. I get it. You might be thinking, I have bills to pay and people who depend on me. I can't go to my boss and try to make a change, or you don't know my manager or the company I work for. Maybe you're asking yourself, will they question my commitment, my work ethic? Or if I try to make a change, will this jeopardize my career and destroy everything I've worked for? I'd like you to consider a different question. What will happen if you don't try to make a change? More of the Sunday night scaries, dreading the thought of Monday morning? More headaches, colds, and sick days? More counting down the days until the weekend? More sleepless nights of despair as you lie in bed wondering, is this all there is? So what's possible if you do identify and make the changes you need to be inspired, content, and fulfilled at work? What's possible if you do own your career, love your work, and make your job work for you? Joining a company does not mean abdicating your personal power. You can change the dynamic of the relationship with your employer. You have skills, experiences, and abilities that are vital and meaningful to your employer. You are the engine that fuels your organization's growth. Neither your boss nor your company has all the power in the relationship. You have an equal and powerful voice. You can be and are the catalyst for change in your life. It is up to you to identify what you need to be more satisfied, stimulated, and joyful at work. It is only then that you will be able to success.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?